So let's finish off the example we were looking at in the last video. So we want to print the current date, and we want to use the following format. Change the string above so that it uses a backslash character in between the day, month, and year instead of a hyphen. So I think we're just going to modify this somewhat so we're using a hyphen instead. So I'm going to copy and paste the format. So let's do a copy and let's take a look at what we did here. So this is the format that we're looking for. So month, day, year with a is that correct? With a backslash instead of a hyphen. So I think we did it already. Month, day, year. So we're going to highlight what we have here, and if there were no mistakes done, that should now work. Okay, so we'll examine it quickly. So there's your print statement, there's the formatting with the backslash, and this is what we want to extract out of it. So we click, and here is the day, and it doesn't quite look the way I want it to look. The year definitely doesn't look right. I see an 04-2020. So let's go back and see if we can troubleshoot this. Okay, so it says it needs to be 4 digits. So let's take out that 0 there and try it again. Run. And let's take out the 4. So we definitely did something. Oh, I see what's happening here. We put the number in the wrong place. So let me show you over here. So that 04 has to come after the percent. So let's delete it here and put it after the percent symbol, 04. So let's try that now. And that should fix our problem. So 04, run, and now we see 2020 for a year, which is correct. So let's go on to the next section. I think this is the last section. Nope, we have 2 more. Okay, so again, we're looking at how to extract parts out of the now. So let's copy and paste, take a good look at it. Okay, so just like we did before, we import the datetime library. We're using the now function, but this time instead of day, month, year, we're extracting hour, minute, second. So I think that's pretty straightforward. And what do we have to do in the exercise? So now we need this type of formatting. Okay, so we need to print it out and make it look nice. So I'm going to copy what we currently have in the window. Right click, copy. And let's get the formatting here. So here's our formatting. So we don't forget what it is we have to do. And that's what it needs to look like. So instead of a hyphen, it's going to be a colon. So let's replace it with colons. There we go. And instead of month, day, year, it's going to be hour. It's going to be hour, minute, second. So let's replace it with hour, minute, and second. And one last thing here, the hour can be, 12 o'clock, or it could be 2 o'clock. So we have to put in some padding there. And you can see we have that padding. It needs to be 2 digits. And if it's not 2 digits, just put a 0 in front. We do the same thing with month and the same thing with seconds. But we can see here our placeholder. We may have made it too big. It needs to be seconds. So we'll put 2 there instead of a 4. And I believe that's correct. So let's copy that in, test it out, and correct it if necessary. And let's run. And now we have an error. So let's read this carefully to see if we can figure out what we did wrong here. Your code looks a bit off. Hint if you need help. Okay, so let's take a closer look at it. Hour, minute, second. That's what we did. Yes, there is a typing error there. Okay, and that's very common. And with modern code editors, they will actually point to your errors a little bit better. I left out letter N. I wrote this instead of second. So it's frustrating, but as we begin using more powerful development tools, it'll be easier to catch those typing mistakes. So let's try this again. And we still have another message here. So your code looks a bit off. So let's examine it carefully again. Those are our placeholders, 0202, hour, minute, second. And in there somewhere is a typo, and I'm not sure exactly where my typing mistake is. Found it, and there we go. Can you see it? Where's my error? We have an open quotation mark. Where's the closed quotation mark? And like I said, modern text editors, if you forget to put that quote in there, it will put it in automatically, or it will at least point very clearly to where the error is. So don't get discouraged by the fact that you have to read it very carefully in this code editor. It will get easier. So let's go ahead and click run, and there it is. You have your hour, your minutes, and your seconds. Let's continue to the last section here. So the final grade, so you're pretty much putting it all together, okay, and printing it out, and I'll let you finish this one off on your own.